Okay, we are now in Old Spring Hill. I have found a cemetery, but it looks like it's private. It has a chain link fence around it, and it's closed, and it has a house right next to it. I don't know if that's considered a church. I guess it is a church of some sort, but I don't think I'm even allowed to go into the cemetery. But maybe I'll walk around the outside of the fence and look behind it for an old dump. Here's the cemetery. There's a grave without a tombstone, and you can tell it's a grave because it's sunken down. There's a few more over there, but this is the main part of it. But what is this? That's strange. I've never seen anything like it. But this one looks real old. I mean, there's some tombstones there that look 150 years old. I usually don't do cemetery stuff, but that's a nice tombstone, and as you can see, the person died at age 1. And then over here is another one. Born 1889 and died 1890. What is up with that? Could it be that they used the baby killer? I don't mean to be disrespectful. I mean to be talking about the bottle, Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup. Yeah, this Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup was famous in the 1890s and early 1900s. And of course it had morphine in it. And a little baby can't handle very much morphine. So when the mother gave him too much, well, it often ended with death. Well, there's obviously a ravine very close to the cemetery. I mean, literally 25 feet from it, and yet I'm probing it and I'm not finding any signs of any glass. Another cemetery. This must have been a happening place 100 years ago because it's very small now. And having two cemeteries that are both old in this town is strange. We are here in Demopolis, and the first creek is coming up. There's a number of creeks around here. This is a fairly small one, but already finding this. That's sort of old, and a lot of pieces of glass showing up. So, the straight-sided Coke from this town is arguably the most valuable Coke bottle from the whole state. Well, other than the two Hutches from Bessemer and Jasper, that is. But it's a $5,000 bottle in some people's opinions. So it's well worth looking for because it's a late one. It was made in 1915 and is used probably till 1918. Yeah, this is a nice creek. Pretty easy to walk, and only an average of 6 inches deep. Okay, we got a Moraline bottle. That's generally from the 40s. So it's getting older, but not old enough yet. Well, I just tried to go down this bank, and it's super slippery, and I slid down and got wet. My boots filled up and I'm halfway wet. It better be worth it. I better find at least $100 bottle in here. Yeah, this is super slippery. This is like a rock-like substance. And these boots do not grip very well. Well, it's too deep, but my boots are already full of water, so what the heck. Now I'm gonna have to change my socks. I hate having to do that. Now it gets shallow. But there's so much stuff here. It's overwhelming. So much to look at. And a lot of pieces of glass too. But where's the old glass? There's gotta be some someplace. Well, unless, of course, somebody watching my videos of this place I've gotten the idea to come here and walk it every year. I only come here every 3 or 4 years and walk it, but if somebody else did it in the meantime, then they probably wiped out everything there is. That jar looks a little bit old, but we're heading towards the older part of town. Okay, that looks kind of old. I think it looks older than anything we've seen so far. Okay, I'm starting to see a lot of glass. Oh, check that out. No, it's machine made, but it's early. Hoyt's perfume. That's generally a 1910 bottle, but this one is obviously closer to 1920. Whoa, look at that. It's a Big Chief. I haven't found a Big Chief for so long. And it is from Demopolis. I think that's a pretty rare bottle. I've never seen one. I don't think there's very many Big Chiefs from Alabama. Yeah, so even though the top is missing, I'm still going to keep this. Okay, what do we got this time? It's a corker, but not embossed. It's got a crack in it, so it's not really worth anything. Okay, what do we got over here? A Coke bottle. It's broken, but it's from Demopolis, but it's the later kind from the 50s. Oh, here's another Coke bottle. Broken also. That one's from York, Alabama. Well, if you saw my videos from years ago, I saw a number of snapping turtles in these creeks. But since it's January 12th, they might be frozen to death. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, that's an interesting one. It's got some embossing on it. Top's broken, but other than that, it would have been a keeper. What do we have here? Oh, it's just an RC. Okay, we got something that looks old. Ah, it's got a lip chip. Definitely blown in the mold, so that's the oldest thing we've found so far. Do you see what I see? A whole soda bottle. It's an HCl and it still has all the paint on it. Surprising. Well, I guess that's worth keeping. And 4 feet over, I have a Coke bottle. And it's embossed and it's intact. Oh, it's got a base chip, but it is a Demopolis, and even the newer ones from this town are fairly scarce. But I think I'll leave it here because, well, I got a long ways to go and I don't want to haul the extra weight. A chipped 1950s Coke bottle is just not quite worth it. Whoa, that's a surprise. That is a whiskey flask from about 1909. And I like that shape too. But it has a lip chip. Well, more than this a lip chip, but still, I like it more than that 1950s Coke bottle, so I'm going to bring this one home. Just found an early pharmacy bottle that's definitely blown in the mold. Well, I have located a dump. Somebody dumped a bunch of stuff here. It's more of one of those cement dumps. I hate those. I find cement dumps all the time. They're impossible to dig and they're usually just 1940s and 50s trash anyway. But it's an awful big dump and there could be bottles underneath all this. I don't know if I should come back here or not. It's a little too difficult to dig with all those cement pieces though. Oh well, looks like we've come to the end of the line. But first of all, let's see if this Coke bottle's embossed. Nope, it's not. Well, it's too bad I don't have my probe with me because this is a railroad grade and it's a very likely spot for a dump because it's right next to the creek and, well, it's a drop off. I mean, it's a bank. So why not dump right there? But if they had dumped a lot of bottles there, then you would think they would make it right down here into the water. Well, I'm walking back this way because I want to check out the dump, and I figured there must be a roadbed here because how else would all this trash get here? And there were some steep and slippery areas down there.